We talk about, you know, being good to the game and it being good back to you. And I'm just going to say, over the last couple of years, there's a lot of nuance to this. There's all these things. But I don't think Ben Simmons has been good to the game. And it has not been good to him. And we are at this impasse right now where the man is just a complete shell of himself. I don't even know how many games he's played. I probably can count them on two hands this year. Sorry, I haven't been watching much of the Brooklyn Nets. When I was in Brooklyn, he was not playing. Had a great outfit on, though. But when you look back at the legacy of a Ben Simmons, so much talent, dude. I think about his run at LSU, his first few years in Philly. It's unrecognizable now. When you look back on what he has done so far, what do you think, Raja? What comes to mind? What is on your spirit? Let it out.
I have mixed emotions, as I frequently do. What comes to mind is what could have been. The talent, the size, skill combination, the physicality, the IQ. I mean, he had a lot of boxes checked, and I use had because I just don't know where he's at physically right now. So it's just disappointing that we didn't get to see what that was going to turn into. There's a part of me that feels angry. Like if I put myself in his teammate's seat, and I probably to some degree would be kind of pissed. There's also a part of me that feels a little sad for him because, in fairness, I'm not there every day. I don't know if this is something that he's going through tireless, grueling workouts and rehab and treatment and making every genuine effort to get out there on the court, and his back just won't cooperate. And if he's doing that and it won't cooperate, then I'd feel sad for him. I'd feel bad. So I really do have just a whole range of emotions in regards to it. But ultimately, it's just disappointing because before that playoff meltdown in Philly, I considered him in the top, I don't know, the top portion of players in the league. Now, he was always going to be challenged to shoot the ball and whatnot, but he was really, really talented. And so it's really hard to watch, man. And then, the component, I don't know. Like, I don't know how much of it. We've had physical issues with him, Logan.
Yeah.
There have been mental health issues with him at one point, Logan. Like, there's been a lot going on. So what to point the finger at and what to blame and how to categorize the disappointing 15-game season that he's currently played, I don't know what's fair, but overall, man, it's just disappointing. I hope I did that okay, because I really don't know, man. Again, mental health, not making light of any of that, and so want to be fair to it. It's just been a kind of disappointing, man.
It's just sad. I think all of it is just sad, man. Like, I mean, you kind of just saw his downfall, and it's tough with this stuff, bro, because a lot of times the stuff that like normal civilians like myself like can deal with these issues in private, or can deal with like just coming of age or like your flaws and all these things in private. Ben Simmons don't got that luxury, and you hear the whispers of just things that may have happened, may not have happened. And then also like you see the play, which is just like a guy of Ben Simmons' like talent level. The production isn't supposed to drop off this drastically, man.
Well, the only caveat, I'm sorry, but the only caveat, and you're probably not at an age where you would know this, and that's why it's weird. My back doesn't cooperate with me all the time. And so when your fucking back, excuse the F-bomb, but when that fucking back is not working, it doesn't matter what your skill set is, because it is a really debilitating thing.
Yeah. I remember.
So anyway.
But just, you can't walk. It's so unpredictable. Like when you get surgery, at times it makes that worse, whatever you're going through. it's a tough battle to get through. And so on the court, I do feel for Ben Simmons. There's also been the component, though, and I don't know if this is fair or not, but there's always been a narrative that, like, maybe he doesn't care as much as and that's always been on him, even pre-injury and during his Sixers career when he was playing really well. He was always a guy that people thought, or it was always explained to, and I'm sure you've heard this as well. There's guys like this all the time in the NBA. Guys that love the NBA life more than they love playing basketball.
Yeah, that's the turnoff.
Right? And that was always something that, and I know you've heard this. This has always been the narrative on Ben Simmons, is that
if I'm
everything that comes with the game. We could talk about, like, everything that we said before this is valid, but that's also been hindered him his whole career.
It's a great point. Probably the only point, and the only point in why he's viewed like that, because there've been many people come into the NBA and because of injuries have a promising career derailed. And you never get to see what that finished product. I mean, I guess Brandon Roy lasted longer, but even Brandon Roy was robbed of what could have been because of the knees and stuff. So that's not all the way far-fetched for that to happen in a league that's been around as long as the NBA has. But you are correct. And let me just reference when I went to see Steve when he was still coaching the Brooklyn Nets, and we went down there to see him, and I was hanging out with David Vanterpool and those dudes, and Ben Simmons was not playing. This was when I don't know what was going on, but he wasn't playing. And if I'm being honest, now this is from a player who never, or very rarely at least, would be judging someone after a game, hanging out with some friends, just shooting the shit. Because I'd been injured, legitimately injured. And just because I didn't play in this game doesn't mean that I can't go see my family who was in town to see the game and have a good time with them after the game. Like, that doesn't mean I can't do that. But I would even tell you, as that same guy who understands that dynamic, that I had a really weird feeling watching him after the game because he looked fine. He looked like it didn't matter at all. He had his people around. There were multiple people around. It just looked like vibes were good and high, and it did rub me the wrong way. So it's funny. I hadn't even thought about that until you just said that.
He looked like he loves being a star. Like, everything that comes with being a star. And when that's why here's another thing. There's a reason why certain people don't get benefit of the doubt. And Ben Simmons is one of those guys that does not get benefit of the doubt. And I'm just saying, like, he has gone through his issues. I think he's been a little transparent with what's going on. We don't know everything that happened, and that's not our business always to know.
Sure.
But the reason why he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt is because there's been so many examples littered throughout his career where it doesn't feel like he cares as much as you would want a franchise guy to care about these types of things.
Yeah.